Hey, this is Michael. It's November 12th, I believe, 2025. And I'm going to show you how I make soap. Um, every time I make it, it's different. It's kind of an art, kind of a science, kind of chemistry. I mean, there is some chemistry involved. Anyways, I was just looking at the soap. Like before was making my own soap, I was looking at what goes into making soap. And I was like, I don't know, I kind of just wanted something really simple, something with chemicals and stuff that I was familiar with. So that's how I got into soap making, I think. I mean, it's been a while, but yeah, so usually I just make a big batch and then that soap just lasts a really long time. And yeah, I'll just show you step by step everything I'm doing to make the soap. All right, so the first step that you want to do is you got to come up with a recipe. And so to do that, there's a website, soapcalc.net. There's other websites, but this is just the standard. It's really user unfriendly. Like, it, there probably is a better and easier website to use, but it's whatever. So you just put in the numbers for like the kind of oil that you want to use, the ratio, and like all these different numbers affect the outcome of the soap, obviously. But the biggest problem with this website is that the weight, the oils, they come. The recipe gives the oil quantity by weight, not by volume. And I don't really have a scale big enough to measure all of the oil, so I'm just gonna do it by volume. I have a pot, and the pot has these markings for volume, and we're just gonna like just ratio or like like everything. All right, so basically like there's 100% oil, right? We're just gonna take 30% coconut oil and 70% rice bran oil, and then there's some other numbers like the water that affects how the soap sets. Super fat, that's like how much oil is left in the bar of soap after the lye has saponified all the oil. Because you want to make sure you have some super fat in your soap. Otherwise, you're going to have lye in your soap, and you don't want to wash yourself with lye. The lye is there to convert the oil into like solid soap. And if you don't have enough oil or you added too much lye, it's gonna be a very nasty bar of soap, and I've never gotten to that point, and hopefully I never do. So, 5% super fat, that's standard or something. Um, yeah, coconut oil, that's you know they sell that at Costco. Rice bran oil, I bought a bunch of it like in a large container, just because that was like the most economical for me at the time. I've had the same container for at least a year, maybe at least 2 years. So it's been lasting a while. And let's see. So yeah, all the oils that I use, they're all going to be liquid. I know coconut oil, it's solid usually at room temperature, but I kept the jar of coconut oil in a warm spot of the house, so it's liquid. Um, so that's going to make measuring it really easy because when I have all the oils liquid, I can just pour them in the pot and it'll just be, I'll just go by the markings, and then I'll just um, use this recipe as like a ratio of all the ingredients. So if 100% is oil, then okay, so you can click on calculate recipe and then view recipe. Okay, so 100% is oil. Um, let's see, 38% is water. Ooh, this is not looking good. Um, water to lye ratio. Okay, yeah, maybe. Um, Oh, okay, yeah. No, this is the part that I was looking for. So 100% is oil. So we're just gonna add 38% of that 100% part, and then we're just gonna add that on top of the oil. So we're gonna first put in the oil in the pot, and then we're going to uh, measure out the water on the side, and then we're gonna put the lye in, and then let's see, the water to lye ratio. Ooh, that's almost 3 to 1, almost. But yeah, it's gonna be eyeballed. Um, yeah. So all right, we're just gonna go with this. I tried putting it like asking AI to do the soap recipe, but I don't think it's good at math. So the last batch of soap I made, I used AI to like tell me what the ratios were because again, I don't have a scale to measure the weight of the oil. I think he gave me the wrong numbers, and then the oil came out a little. I don't think I added enough lye, but over time, the bar soap it became usable, so it's fine. So yeah, we're just gonna go with this recipe, basically eyeballing a lot of it, and then yeah, all right, all right. So this is the ingredients. I think it's most of it. This is lye. It's very dangerous. You could definitely kill someone with it. Um, this is fragrance. So I have pomegranate, grapefruit, um, peppermint oil. I'm gonna try making a soap that my aunt asked me to make. She said she wanted some soap that was discontinued. It would like leave her skin tingling and tighten her pores, which is sounded pretty cool. So I'm gonna try making it. So that's a fragrance. These two things, I'm gonna mix them. And then here's coconut oil. Like I said, it's liquid. Usually it's like a solid white color, but I put it in a warm part of the house, so it is liquid. And then this is rice bran oil. Yeah, it's kind of sticky for some reason, but I've had this for a while. Um, it's meant for cooking, for like deep frying Chinese food or something. I've never used it for that. I don't know if I ever will. Although I do have a deep fryer that I've never used. It's just too much stuff happening. But yeah, that's the oil. And then over here, this is a soap mold. I have a lot of them. I just have one just to show you here. And then this is a stick mixer. Got it on eBay, used. These are gloves that you might want to use. Yeah, so that's basically it. And also you're going to need some bowls, and I'm going to assume you have access to fresh water. And maybe a stove, yeah. You want to put it on a stove maybe. Although the lye does get warm enough to the point where like maybe you don't need external heat. Like I said, the lye is dangerous. It heats up the water really high, but anyways, so. And then here's the pot, and like I said, there's markings. So the recipe called for 70% rice bran oil, 30% coconut oil. So we're just gonna call it. Let's just make it 3367. I mean, that'll just make the math easier, and I won't throw off the recipe that much. So the recipe's not even like it's never gonna be perfect. I don't even know what that means. But anyway, so we're gonna go up to two. Let's do let's do 2 quarts of rice bran oil, and then we'll fill up the rest up to 3 quarts with coconut oil. And yeah, I figure it's probably just easier to just pour it from the floor. So yeah, we're gonna go up to 2 quarts of rice bran oil. And this stuff will mark your floor, so if you get any on the floor, clean it up right away. Okay, that's two. And then, yeah, okay, give me some time. I'm gonna have to. Alright, hold on. Alright, so now we're gonna add the coconut oil, and I wasn't sure how to pour it, but, because it's brand new, so I took a utility knife or box cutter knife and I make this little triangle. So now I'm gonna pour it up to 3 quarts. I don't want the splashing action. Ooh, it's gonna take a while. But I didn't wanna, I was like, you know, if the whole top is open, it's not gonna be very clean when I'm pouring it, so. I mean, this is better than, you know, having the whole top open, but it is kind of slow. Yeah, I'll just live with it. And I will have to clean up the floor a little bit after this. All right, and we are at 3. Okay, that is 3. Okay, and don't, you can ignore the microwave. That was someone else's stuff. All right, hold on. So I got the pot of oil on the top of the range. Looks like I'm slightly below 3, so yeah, I should probably add some more. Just I don't know, because right now it's maybe, I don't know, 27 or 20. No, actually, whatever. Yeah, so it's actually probably closer to the recipe on the screen, because originally I was gonna go from 2 quarts of rice bran oil and then 1 quart of coconut oil for the whole, like, 100% oils, and that would have been 33% coconut oil. But because I'm slightly below the 3 quart line when I added the coconut oil, that means it's less than 33% coconut oil. So it's, I don't know, let's say it's closer to 30% coconut oil now. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make the solution with the water and the lye. And I gotta check the recipe just to get my math right. Hold on. All right, we're here in front of the recipe. So we have 100% oil. And I know it says grams, but, you know, I'm just doing the math, you know. So the water that we're gonna add, whatever we just added, we are going to add 38% more water and 14% more lye. So, all right, so we're gonna, okay, so right now we have 3 quarts of water. So we're gonna add like slightly more than a quart more of water, because 33%, 1 quart is 33% of the whole oil solution. So yeah, let's just say we're gonna measure a quart of water, slightly more than a quart of water, and then we're gonna add this much lye, so 27%. So I'm gonna have to do some math right now. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, actually, when doing the lye and the water, yeah, it just kind of hit me that the lye isn't liquid. So I actually do have a scale. I'm gonna measure a quart of water, and then I'm gonna get that weight and then multiply it by 0.3. I mean, yeah, this is like really complicated. Like, you should probably have like a science down, and then yeah, kind of just eyeballing this. But I am confident that we are going to add just a quart of water, and then we'll figure out the lye later. Okay, so a quart is 4 cups. I'm gonna fill this up with 4 cups of water. All right, so here's the 4 cups of water. I have a scale here. Batteries are dead right now, so I gotta put in new batteries. And then I didn't actually measure the weight, so I'm gonna have to get the weight of the water and do some math. All right, noticing some discrepancies in the recipe. So here you can see the water to lye ratio here is 2.6971. It calls for 38 grams of water and 14.0. Oh, hold on, I think I put in the wrong numbers. Okay, I changed the numbers, and there's still a discrepancy, but it's closer to what's actually on the calculator. So the water to lye ratio is 2.6971. It calls for 38 grams of water, so that's that. 14.09 grams of lye, so that's that. And that equals 2.6969. and here is 2.6971. So I'm not sure why this is giving me 6969 and this one's 6971, but it's close enough. And then here, the weight for 1 quart of water, which is 1 cups or 4 cups, I believe. I mean, hopefully. I just looked it up. All right, now I gotta look it up. Hold on. All right, so 1 quart of water is not exactly 4 cups, so but it's close enough. Okay, so the weight of 1 quart of water is 946.35 grams. All right, let's do some math. Okay, so here I just flipped the numbers. So because I already have the water, and the water is a larger portion of the lye, I just flipped the numbers. So now we have this number. This is 37% of the water lye solution will be lye, and then we'll just multiply that by the weight of a quart of water. So we have to add 350 grams of lye, if I'm not mistaken. Now this is a very critical step because, like I said, maybe I didn't say, I think I did say, this is, lye is very dangerous. You don't want to add too much lye, otherwise your soap will be very harsh on your skin. We want to have 5% superfat. I don't know. It's kind of, it'll be close enough, I think. It's better to have less lye than too much lye. The last batch I had, there was not enough lye, but after a couple weeks, the soap, it became hard enough and it's good enough. All right, so this is the math. I'm adding a quart of water to, ooh, I'm actually not sure. Maybe that changes the, because we're adding, let's see, we're adding 25% or like 33% more water. Not sure how the lye is going to affect it, but 350 grams of lye sounds like a lot. Yeah, we're kind of going to have to risk it. All right, let me play with the numbers a little bit and see if 350 grams sounds reasonable. All right, so 350 grams of lye is actually very reasonable because what I did was I changed the water percentage of oil weight from 38 to 33%, and then I plugged in the new numbers. So we went from 38 grams of water for 14.09 grams of lye. I'm trying to do this one-handed. All right, hold on. Oops. 33. So if we lowered the water percentage to 33 from 38, we would add 404 grams of lye, which is a lot more than 350 grams. Man, this is, okay. But the water that we're adding a quart of water to 3 quarts of oil. So that's an additional 33%, but then we're not saying that's 33% now, because now the total amount of liquids is 4 quarts, which would make the water as a percentage of oil weight closer to 25%. Like I said, it's not really, I don't really have this down to a science, but I really only do this every now and then, and every batch is different, so you never know what you're gonna get, at least when you're doing it with me. I don't want to use more lye than I have to, so that's interesting that I lowered the water. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I lowered the water percentage down to 25%, and I was going to say, it's interesting that the lower the water percentage, the higher the lye becomes. I it kind of makes sense, but I mean, it's just how the soap calculator works. Like I might have said earlier, like someone should probably make a better version of this thing because it's kind of hard to use. Like I just tell me like I just want the the numbers, like just give them to me. Just give me like the numbers to make a good recipe, and like that'll be it. But like with this soap recipe calculator thing, it's they make it way more complicated than it needs to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say, yeah, I think we're just gonna use 350 grams of lye because you know lye is kind of expensive. Um, yeah. All right. And here's my batteries. They're charged, so let's make the lye solution now. All right. So here's the bowl. It's been zeroed out on the scale, and I'm gonna measure out 350 grams of lye. It's very dangerous. So, all right. Hold on. All right, let's go to grams, 350 grams. And it looks like we got a chunk, so that's not good. 200. See, this is a lot of lye. Alright. We could go more. Whatever. Alright, and then now we're gonna add the this lye to the 4 cups of water. Yeah, hold on. Okay, so now I'm gonna add in the lye in this water, 4 cups of water, and then yeah, I mean, oh, also this produces fumes, so you should probably do this in a well-ventilated area. I'm gonna go ahead and open the door, so hold on. All right, so we got some fresh air now. Just gonna keep adding the lye. And you know, it probably would be a lot faster if I had a funnel, but you know, I'm just gonna take my time with this because I don't really care. Oh man, I dropped some. Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna skip forward. Alright, so now all the lye is in the water, and it is warm. Would be a lot warmer if I used room temperature water, but I used water that was from the fridge. Oh yeah, it's actually pretty hot at the bottom. So it's a good thing that I'm mixing it right next to the door. I'm basically, we're getting a lot of fresh air in here, which is really what you want. And you know, I probably should be wearing those gloves. Yeah, I'll put on the gloves. All right, protective glove is on. I could definitely feel the fumes hit my hand. This hand is very warm now. Not very warm, but it's definitely being hit by the fumes caused by the lye solution. So I'm gonna just keep mixing it until it's all liquid. It is very hot. It would be really bad if this jar cracked right now. That would be really bad. So this probably isn't the best spot to be mixing this. Alright, so last math thing I'm gonna do is just calculate how much fragrance I'm gonna add. So we added 946 grams of water. I'm just gonna take this ratio and, you know, there's the water. It's 25, so it's 2 grams of fragrance for 25 grams of water. So I just, you know, did the 2 to 25 times the weight of the water, of a quart of water, and that gives me 75 grams of fragrance. Yeah, all right. Alright, so now I'm going to put in 75 grams of, I'll just mix these two in however I feel like it, I don't know. Okay, so this is peppermint essential oil. Never been used before. It has a really strong scent. Should give the tingling effect that we're looking for. Yeah, it smells really good. Alright, so that's a lot. Now I'm going to add in the grapefruit. Essential oil. Right. Alright, that's good. Not sure how to clean it up, but right, hand is gonna smell like grapefruit now. Yep. So there it is. Alright, so here's the 3 quarts of oil, the 1 quart of water plus the lye, and the fragrance. So now I'm going to add in the lye, and then I also have the stick mixer here, which I'll start mixing immediately after adding the lye solution to the oil. All right. Just got to start mixing it immediately. The ventilation on. Should probably have ventilation on. You gotta keep mixing it until it reaches trace, and I'll show you what trace is once I get there. It's been a few minutes and you can see it's still kind of watery. We're not at trace yet. Hold on. So we're pretty close to trace. You can see it's starting to have texture on the surface. I'm gonna mix it some more and wait a while, because right now the lye solution is saponifying the oils, so it's getting thicker and thicker over time. See, so I'm gonna mix it some more. This is not it's not thick enough. Okay, so I think you could call this trace. I mean, that's just what I've read online or heard online. It's thicker. It's holding some texture. That's basically trace, I think. And so now we're at the point where we can add. We're at the point where we can add our fragrance once you're at trace. So I'm going to do that right now. Yeah. Now I'm gonna continue mixing. Probably waited too long to add the thing. We went too far past trace, but yeah, I'm mixing it still with the fragrance. So you can see now it's getting pretty thick. It's definitely thick enough to start pouring. I'm gonna just mix it some more and then get pouring. Alright, I'm gonna start pouring this. Okay, so there's the soap. I have the mixer to the side on the plate. Maybe I'll clean it up later. And now I have a bunch of these molds on the soap molds on the floor. I'm gonna bring the pot down and just start pouring it. I don't know how this is gonna work out, but yeah, alright, this is probably not good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the silicone spatula and start spreading it out. It's pretty thick already. Let's see how well that works. Actually, we're getting both of them. I don't know if the metal one, maybe the metal one's gonna work better. Smells really pepperminty. Yeah, probably the metal one's better, because that way you can actually scoop some up and move it to the next tray over. Alright, I'm gonna put this to the side. Here's the next one. Yeah, it's probably too much. Alright, here's this one. Alright. Another one. Okay. Should probably get the spatula and start spreading it out more evenly. I do have some more molds up here. But that is all the trays I have left. The trays are nice because, you know, you can stack them. Maybe I should get a spoon. Like I said, every batch is different. In the previous batches, I'd be able to like pour them in one at a time, but I had so much volume. I've never done this much volume before. So I was like, all right, we're just gonna dump it all in and see what happens. And you know, it's turning out okay. But obviously I have other trays that need to be leveled. This is probably good for that. Sorry about the squeal. And then here's, all right, this one has a lot. Yeah, I have this idea for the next time I make soap, I think, because I have so much soap for this batch, it's gonna last maybe a year. The next time I make soap, I wanna have a different mold. I have an idea for a new mold, like a vertical mold, because that way that would make pouring so much easier. Yeah, this one is just way too messy. Having this many molds, and then it's kind of a race against the soap saponifying and getting thick, but you know, I think we're making do. I think we're doing good with what we have here. All right, I'm gonna put this to the side. I still have a lot left in the pot, so I gotta hurry up. Yeah, this is not optimal, but it's what I have so far. I'm gonna pause this. It's not pausing. Okay, so this tray is good enough. I got a spoon. It's kind of, you know, it has its pros and cons compared to the spatula, but yeah, I think this tray is good. Let's add another tray on top. These trays are for papers, so if you've ever worked in an office or something, that's like old school. Probably that's where you get them. I don't know where I got these. Maybe they're just lying around the house or something. I don't know. But yeah, the smell of the peppermint is a lot stronger than the grape. yeah, grapefruit. Probably, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And here's the next layer. Alright. And yeah, so this time around, this is the most volume I've ever done. It's definitely gonna be the last time I use these molds for this amount of volume, because it's just not gonna work out, I mean, as well as I would like. But, you know, at the end of the day, this is all just going to become bar soap, so it doesn't really... It's fine. It doesn't matter if it's lumpy or if it takes a long time to do it just now, because... yeah. So I guess I am using the spoon a lot more than the spatula, at least this time around. Oops. But yeah, this will definitely leave your skin feeling tingly, I think. Haven't tried it yet. Alright, so there is the stack of soap, and now I'm going to fill up more of these molds. Alright, and we're back. So, yep, this is soap making. You can see it's getting a lot thicker now. So I think we added the right amount of lye. And I think we have just enough molds. Oh, you know what? I think I spread the last bits too much. But, what are you gonna do about it? Alright, we are nearing the end. Yeah, so my idea for the next soap mold, I just want to have a vertical column that's just four pieces of wood that are, you know, pretty tall or long, however you want to say it. And then I want to have that be a column that I just pour the soap into, And then I would just have to pour it one time, you know, let it become a loaf of soap, and then that would be a lot easier than doing this. And then I would just cut the loaf of soap to size once it's cured. Yeah, I think now I can start using... let's try using the silicone spatula. Alright. Let's clean up the rest of this. Now, the smell of peppermint is not overwhelming right now, but it's definitely strong. It's a lot stronger than what I did the previous batch. I don't even think I could smell the fragrance after I added it. And also, I think I added the fragrance the last batch too early. I think I did it before it hit trace, so, you know, what fragrance was left after it fully cured, you know, probably wasn't that much. But yeah, just look at all this like wasted soap as a result of using the pot and these molds. Like, yeah, so I just want a vertical column that I can pour the soap into, and then I think that would be better than this for sure. No doubt about it. Yeah, some of this, yeah, this, we can have some empty. Here, see. I don't think we need to use that part of the mold. And actually, I could probably take some of the soap from over here. Start putting that here. Yeah, so the soap is getting pretty thick now. I think we added the right amount of lye. Pretty sure. Sorry for doing this off screen. I just, I don't know, I'm a one-man band. Kind of don't really, I don't know, you're just gonna have to deal with it. Let's see, so I think we could take some here. Put some there, put some here. All right. I guess we could put in. We can fill up this last soap here. So we can take the soap here, put it in here. You can't really see that. Yeah, so I don't think I want to do this again. Doing this method. I'm gonna have to get another mold. Because, you know, making soap is fun, but it's just really hard to do things when you feel very strongly that you can do it a better way. So, yeah. Yeah, I probably should have added more grapefruit. Like the peppermint, it's alright. I guess it's festive. But yeah, I just wish it smelled more like grapefruit. Okay. Alright, I think we're in the home stretch. So I'm gonna start taking some of this. This mold is only gonna have 2 bars. 2 bars. And the good thing about, I think, with the column idea is that you won't have to do this. You would just have a long, tall loaf of soap that you would cut into slices. And that would be a lot nicer than doing this. Alright, I think we're basically done. I'm gonna do some more cleaning up, but here's what we have so far. Got 1, 2, a third, and 4. So 6 trays and a third of soap. Alright, I'm gonna probably scrape off a little bit more, and then I'll let these set. So hold on. Alright, and that's basically it. Oh man. Just the smell of peppermint, and there's like, this thing's almost an hour long, and it's not including all the stuff I didn't record. But you got to see basically everything, minus, you know, the repetitive stuff. So yeah, I'm just gonna put this in somewhere. And then you gotta wait 48 hours, it'll be solid, but you wanna wait 4 to 6 weeks, and that's when the soap fully cures, and then should be good. So yeah, I'm gonna put these away. Okay, so yeah, because it's soap, I can't really show you the finished product until a while, but yeah, you just have the trays set up, you just have the mold set up, and you just let the soap cure, and then you'll have soap, and then you can share it with your friends and family, and then you'll never have to buy a bar of soap again, because you know that the soap that you just made is way better than any of the soap that you could buy, because all the soap that you can buy nowadays is either overpriced or there's a bunch of chemicals that you don't want in it. I find it's just way more satisfying to just make your own soap. It's something I only do 2 times a year maybe. And every time it's different, and every time, you know, you get better at it, and I don't know, I think it's an important skill to know. All right, so thanks for watching. Bye bye.